This is a CNC machine. It's 1995.
Where do you buy this?
This is a great tool. Hard to build a car without a lathe. Tubing bender and cutters and notchers and welders, so we can do everything, build everything for a race car.
Do you have any regrets on placement since you've been here for 5 years?
Was this already a room when you moved in, or did you have to make it?
Which one's your desk?
Victoria's like, let me sit down and think, how does it feel?
So the magic happens. Oh, some of it.
That's another good quote. You're adults and professionals. Get it done. You're an adult. We're here with Stephan Papadakis of Papadakis Racing in California. I mean, championship winning Formula Drift team owner, engineer, OG of drift and Formula Drift in general. And how do you even introduce yourself? Like, where do you start?
Just go team owner and motorsports fan, and I love to build cars. So yeah, we got a good crew here. Yeah.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Secure the back, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrum. Don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Today we did behind the scenes look of their shop, and we're gonna get some inspo for our own coming up, so I'm really excited to look.
We sometimes get cars here from Toyota that are pre-production, and this they have to be secret. So it's set up for that. The cool thing about this area is whatever we want, like tools and parts and everything is in LA.
Yeah.
LAX is down the street, Long Beach Airport's right here. Really, and then there's no houses or apartments anywhere, so we can make whatever noise, whatever we want.
Yeah, I like that everything's blacked out.
Yeah.
Top secret. So if you have the gate shut, you're completely hidden.
And then there's room on the side for the big rig, and we're storing Castro's trailer here for a couple of days until SEMA. And
that was the first thing I noticed, and I was like, that is impressive. I don't know how all of them parked like that and that close to each other. I was already stressing out looking at it. But do you usually have like 3 trailers there at all times?
Just have 2 nowadays. And then we've done some other projects where there's containers and stuff. So we have a container on the side of the shop where we store dirty parts, like body panels and tires and wheels and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the shops, a couple of different, there's this building and this building. This one I'm just renting out right now, but we'll probably take that over again.
How have you set this up? What machines are like the most important? What do you think through for efficiency and kind of capturing all that, especially as I'm moving into this new space? Do you want to like communicate, okay, what can I take away from that as much as I can, you know, with my sale of things and set up my space, so.
Yeah, I mean, the main stuff is to, obviously all the hand tools and stuff that you can wrench in a lift. I mean, it's hard to build a car without a lathe, because there's often, it could just be as simple as modifying a screw or a spacer or shims, all that kind of stuff. Like, the lathe is like probably the most used of the expensive tools.
Okay.
But you have to have somebody that can do it safely. So lathe would be the main thing, other side from like welders and drill press and stuff. There's a couple of tools that I think every shop should have.
When do you find yourself like now, because you've repeated this process so many times, like how often are you using the lathe? Are you customizing the same thing over and over again? Because I feel like most of the times when we've used it, it's like, oh, something didn't fit. We need to modify something last minute or fast.
Yep. And you have to have a lathe to do it. You can't go to the grinder and do it.
Okay.
We're probably on the lathe a couple times a week. We may even just chuck something in there to clean it that's round.
Yeah.
So spin it up and sand it down. I don't know, it's always used. Okay. It's like such a multi-purpose tool.
I don't know if that's in my budget for the shop, but put it high on the list, friend with lathe. Noted.
Yeah, you want someone nearby with a lathe.
Yeah, someone nearby, okay.
Obviously air and hoses and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Solvent tank, some kind of cleaner for parts.
And I love having like, so you have a main area just for machine work, right? And then for fab.
Yeah, so grinding and dirty stuff is in that corner. Metal chips are over here. Car prep is over there. You know, ideally some of the stuff would be segmented off. The guys are clean enough to where we don't cross-contaminate.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's another thing I noticed when I first walked in too. I was like, wow, this is really clean. Yeah. That'll be my new goal for the main shop, is to like keep it clean. It just, I mean, you know, when you go through like those weeks, or even when we rebuilt the car in 10 days for FD, the last thing we were thinking about is cleaning. So by the time we got back, it was all a blur. I'd come to the shop and I'm like, oh my gosh.
The reason why the cleanliness is important is because the thing that can bite you at the end is missing a part, having something loose, like those little small things, and having a clean setup and some sort of system then minimizes those potential risks.
Yeah.
So like when we take a car apart, we'll pull out one of our rolling shelves.
Oh yeah, I have
and everything goes on a shelf, and then if we need more table space, then we'll pull out a plastic table or something, and then all the parts go into a bin. So you shouldn't have any leftover parts, because if you do, then you probably have an issue. So like there's just some systems like that that really help.
I was just about to ask you, when you tear down a car completely, like what are your systems? A rolling cart, but do you also have like labeling or like bagging stuff?
If we're taking apart a brand new car and we're going to turn it into a race car, we'll bag stuff. Like there'll usually be like 3 piles. There's a for sure we're not using this, like a headliner, and then for sure we're gonna use this, which may be some suspension bolts or something, and then those will be labeled. And then like the maybe pile, which will also get labeled. And the problem with when you tear apart a new car is when you strip a whole car down, it usually takes the space of 3 cars or more. There's so many components inside of a car. Yeah, it's the shelves, multiple shelves, stuff on the ground, all over the place.
Carts were a big game changer for me though, because I feel like it kind of just, the part storage for different vehicles ended up being everywhere, or like engine breakdown and just it was chaos. So having like multiple carts, I get like the U-line ones that just work for different builds or whatever you're doing, was very helpful.
Yeah, and then everything's on wheels. So we have tables on wheels and carts on wheels, and everything's on wheels. So when the space is relatively open right now, but if we work on something, we can build a workspace around it, and we can rearrange that depending on what we have that we're working on.
Bins.
Yeah.
I don't have a great bin strategy for anything. They're all like mix-match and
it's Home Depot,
chaotic.
and they're cheap and somewhat disposable.
Yeah.
So we buy a lot of bins from Home Depot, and we'll label them, and so we have a 40-foot container that we store a lot of stuff in, and those bins are all labeled what they are, and those are all on shelves that are for each car. So I even have some personal cars, we have some old race cars, and we have leftover parts, and those are all arranged. So if you ever see like the old Mythbuster guys, and they had like wall of bins and everything's all marked what it is, and they need to find bearings, they probably have a bin full of bearings. But it just takes time to organize all that stuff, but in almost every instance you gain that time back from not having to find it later or having to rebuy the thing or whatever. Because the thing with racing is like often you get into a situation where you're in a pinch, you need the thing now, and it's 9 o'clock at night and everything's closed, and so if you can't find that part or make a phone call to get it, then you can end up in trouble.
And so often in the past, I know I have the part, and you don't know where it is, and you end up buying like the same thing 3-4 times. I know going into FD this year, that was the first time that for the trailer, we had bins and then numbers and then a spreadsheet of what's in each bin, so we could like search it up if we were in a rush and figure out, okay, this is container number 5 and we know it's in there. By the end of the season, it's a bit chaotic. Are those bins still probably accurate right now with the totaling of the car and then the other craziness that happened? No. But maybe it's a separate video. I would love to get a rig tour, because I feel like that's a whole nother thing when you're on the road and how you organize stuff for FD. But yeah, I need to up my game in that category.
So that'd be Long Beach. So we have a cart just like this for each one of the cars, and they have bins on it. Okay. So what we've set up is there really aren't that many tools that live in the trailer like a normal drag race team or something would have. There's a toolbox, and then there's a cart, and that cart has bins with all the spare parts. So whether we're at the racetrack or in the shop, like that stuff gets wheeled along with the car, so you always have that mobile tools and mobile spare parts for the car.
Okay, that makes sense.
Versus having to put it into a drawer in the trailer, and then it's stuck in the trailer, and we stopped doing that. Yeah, a few years back.
Okay. Organization. Saves time. And it actually really did. That was the first time I ever had like spreadsheets for every single part.
That's a lot. We don't do that much. But it'll be great. Like front suspension box.
Yeah.
So how many shops have you had? Like what shop is this right now?
We probably had like 5 over the years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've learned a lot on like what to do, what not to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you guys are doing, which is
you go visit other people's shops and you get inspired by something that they're doing, and you just continue to evolve whatever your setup is that works for you.
Yeah.
So some setups are complicated and may take a team of people to sort of understand. The problem with that is if you lose somebody and they knew where the stuff is, like somehow, now you can't find it again. Yeah, the bins, and I like to like label on the bin what's in there.
Yeah.
It's better than having a piece of paper somewhere with just a number.
You can glance at it.
Yeah, just glance at so we'll have bins with like a bunch of labels on it of what's in it. So like basically that spreadsheet or the paper is the bin on the side of the bin.
Clear bin or colored bin? That's an important question because
We have these black Home Depot bins with the yellow tops.
Okay.
They're the most robust that we can move around.
Yeah.
Those clear ones break, and then the parts fall out, and then it's a total mess. So those are like halfway disposable.
Yeah.
Engine building room, I don't have anything I'm working on at the moment. All the stuff is in the trailer. This is an engine that's for my Celica that I built, but the car's running well. I just haven't put it in yet. And then I have some spare parts for the drift cars, showing off some stuff to some visitors.
More organization.
Yeah, so like
go.
every drawer has, a bunch. I actually opened up one that doesn't have that much, but like, the different drawers have different, bunch of parts for the engine. The only engines we really service are the V58s now. So every drawer has stuff for those engines. So like this is the hardware drawer. Or if we need bearings, then we go into the bearing drawer. And we have a whole bunch of bearings. So it's like a shop.
So sick stuff.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
immaculate, beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and then chemicals are up here that we may need. There's stuff everywhere. But
Even just getting like a roller toolbox for me, like I'm thinking of everything on a way smaller scale, obviously for me. I have so many rotary engine parts and seals and all these things. It's kind of on a cart, but it's very chaotic. And I just get a little toolbox and then label everything. And be ready to go.
so I was building an engine. So like this is a cart that I had for all the parts for that engine. This is just leftover stuff that I haven't sorted out yet. So like this would be like a temporary engine might go on something like this. And I have my normal toolbox that I'll bring in here if I'm working on something in here. It's not in here at the moment. And then towels on the wall and some pig mat, which if you spill something or it drips, then you put those mats on the ground.
Was this already a room when you moved in, or did you have to make it?
Yeah, this whole shop was more like a warehouse sort of. We redid everything. It was already a room, but we did different ceiling, put a new skylight in it, drywalled everything, put a wall, all the lighting and electrical. Like this whole shop was redone when we got here.
When did you move here?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can tell it's very intentional with the space.
Yeah, and then part of it was we knew we were going to do content, so kind of build it around that, and there's office. So.
Ah, very cool. Which one's your desk?
That one.
Ah, nice. It's
I was like, let me sit down and see how does it feel?
So the magic happens. Oh, some of it.
Cool. Wow.
The idea is that it's a service shop just for our drift cars, initially just for the drift cars, and then so we don't do customer cars here, but then we have extra space to do personal projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we keep it clean because it's not always project right after project right after project. We haven't built a new drift car in a couple of years, but we've done other side projects.
But you do everything here from like you're building the cages. Like are you stripping everything? Is this more?
Everything happens here. So when we're building a new car, we have a frame jig that we've had set up and the car sitting on a frame jig. So the shop can be converted space into what we need at that time. We're not always doing a new chassis on a frame jig. So there's no reason to have a frame jig all the time in the shop. It just takes up that space.
Yeah.
And so that's why, again, everything's on wheels and we can rearrange it as we need to.
I like that. I like, having everything on wheels, especially because again, I'm thinking so much smaller, but having like a fab area, but then a table we could still move underneath the car if you needed to while you're like doing fab on car and you don't want to move stuff around.
Yeah, and then we have a bunch of folded tables. Typically, they're just sort of shuffled over there, and then so if we're going to work on something new, then we just take a table, we unfold it, and then the parts can go on that table, and then when you're done with it, you fold the table and it goes back again.
Oh yeah.
And then
I'm a big fan
if
of
you find that
pocket
you have a
tables.
bunch of fold-up out tables with a bunch of stuff on it, then you got to work that out.
Yeah, if you knew what my shop looks like right now.
I think I visited
I'm,
when you were at the Florida compound.
Oh, great. Well, no, my shop, that's still my shop where I'm at
Okay.
now.
There's a lot of stuff there.
I'm moving into a new one, but right now I'm too big of a fan of pop-up tables. I use them too much, but I have been selling all these parts I've hoarded for over 5 years. So I have all the pop-up tables with all these car parts for my store on eBay. If you guys want to check it out and buy some stuff from cars I haven't owned in like 5 years.
Yeah,
There's some good
actually-
stuff, you know. I have some Audi TTRS things, some Hyundai Veloster N things, rotary things.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what some folks can do is spend more money storing parts than the parts are worth. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you hoard any parts. Do you have like a secret spot that's like low key, just like?
If I really want to hoard
Hoarding?
some parts, they go into a bin, they get labeled, and they go and get put on a shelf somewhere.
But here, or do you have a
We have a
separate?
container that outside, like a 40-foot container that we store stuff in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still organized, beautifully
Organized hoarding.
organized hoarding.
It would be something that you couldn't replace,
Yeah. Okay.
but larger stuff, like I'm not going to keep. Maybe outside, I've got an old bumper or something like that. But if something's been sitting for a year, it goes.
That's a good
Wow.
rule, actually.
A year? You know what? I should start implementing that.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it's healthy to keep a bunch of old stuff around.
But what
Mentally.
if?
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Minimalism is
Yeah.
the way.
Well, I mean, how many old cameras are you going to keep? You're going to keep a digital camera from 2012 that sucks?
No.
Because, yeah, it's the same thing with an old car part.
Yep.
Yeah. But what if?
So
now I'm
no,
trying to
I have an
like,
answer. I have an answer to that. The
Yeah.
answer to the what if is the money you save from the shop space and rent and whatever. You can afford to once in a while buy that thing again.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah. And the lack of clutter and the ease of finding stuff in the you just once in a while. So that is right. Once in a while you got to buy something again, but you don't live in a bunch of trash.
That's all.
Yeah.
You're not a trash human.
Got a
So
little
that's
raccoon.
benefit.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
I've been working on applying the 1 year rule. I literally I'm getting ready to move into a new shop, and I'm going through. I have a container, and I have another, basically as big as another 40-foot container worth of storage. And some of that stuff I moved from California all the way to Florida, and I'm still didn't even use it. And I'm like, I'm not moving this stuff one more time. That's enough. Like if I didn't use it between the 5 years or 6 years, get rid of it. Especially the cars I don't even own anymore. That makes no sense. So I'm working on it.
It's I watched The Fight Club again. You ever see that movie?
A long time ago.
Yeah, watch it again. It's there's a philosophy in it that basically be careful, because when you start owning too much stuff, you don't own the stuff anymore. The stuff owns you.
Yeah. You know what? Yep. That's true.
And so like part of what happens is you just get rid of everything and you just start off with only the things that really matter, and then you can start rebuilding yourself again. For us, like we need to keep moving forward, and we keep holding on to stuff from the past. I feel like it drags you down like an anchor.
You know, we need to replay this.
Yeah, I know.
When we're going through the container, we're just gonna have you repeating that. Even though now I'm at the point too where I'm just so frustrated, I don't want to move it. So I'm just like, yeah, take it. Like clear this, but yeah, we're gonna have that on repeat and do some nice winter cleaning.
Yeah, there's
for
gonna be
next
some
move.
videos in the future, and I'm gonna look at her and go, "What would Steph Papadakis do
Yeah.
in this situation?"
Yeah, you just ask me for everything. Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
Everything's going. And starting like fresh and
Be
lighter.
careful. I mean,
like-
but some people feel like those things that they own make them. Like, I'm a rotary person and I've got a bunch of rotary cars, and they've got a bunch of things that eventually are going to get working in the yard, and that may be true. Maybe later on when they're retired and those parts and cars are impossible to get, they were happy that they stored it for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's just not my personality. Other people, I'm not them. I mean, I'm just me. I'm just telling you my philosophy, not what other people should do.
I still have the first ever dog box gear that I chipped when I was 15.
How big is that?
You know, just
You
like,
can probably save that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still have the first piston that I pulled out of an AC compressor when I was like 14, so it was
Yeah.
a cute little baby piston. And I would wear it around my neck, and we would just take stuff
Yeah.
apart. And I was like, this is so cute. I'm gonna turn it into jewelry and wear it to school. And people didn't talk to me. But I still have it, because it's cute.
Gotta bring it
But
back.
gotta bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back, and
It's like
we'll
a
clean.
chain version, just
Yeah.
find all the little ones.
Yeah, the way I look at it is like, okay, I'm here today and I'm trying to get to here. do I need this thing to get to there? If I don't, it's noise. So it's like, it's just difficult, you know what I mean? Like, try to be as efficient as possible. So yeah, that works for me. But if it's keeping some sentimental things like small parts or even a whole car.
Yeah.
But when you find yourself at 6, you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're gonna replay that. That's your motto when you
Yeah,
actually do
it
this
is.
move. And can we look more at this space over here and how you have it set up?
Yeah,
You want
beautiful.
masking tape, double-sided tape, powder coating, high temp tape, electrical tape, Teflon tape.
I've
Tapes
wasted
in
a
the tape
lot of
drawer.
time. Wasted a lot of time looking for tape.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Miscellaneous AN fittings. Always that little fitting that you never need. We do hoard some stuff like this, but it's in a drawer where we know where it is and we can, find it. If we need some hose, a small little section of hose, then we've got a drawer with a bunch of different hose.
Where the hose at? Right there.
And if you need
Can I
turbo
open,
parts, then you open up whatever you
can I
want.
open the metal drawer? I'm
Sure.
curious. What's
That.
just metal? Oh, nice.
Oh, it's
Little
satisfying.
random metal brackets whenever you need something. They did. Okay. Oh, this is like thicker CNC stuff. Do you have? Oh yeah. You have
Yeah.
a CNC machine too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. I need. Oh, add to list. Friend with CNC machine. 'Cause we're not gonna have one of those in our shop. Okay, labeling. More inspiration. And then, okay, back here. What? You guys don't do the cages here? Or you do some
We do,
caging here?
yeah.
Okay.
So we have tubing bender and cutters and notchers and welders. So we can do everything, build everything for a race car here. So this area is all the grinding and metal and dirty metal work. We keep it all in one area. So this is where table that you would work on. So like this table is where if you want to grind something, you don't do it on the plastic table. You come over here where we have outlets and the tools and a vise. And so dirty grinding happens here. So if you look at the wall, there's a bunch of, this is the dirtiest wall in the shop because this is where the dirty stuff happens. But then we've got all the stuff lined up. So you can cut something and then you can sand it down and then you can buff it down and then you end up with a nice metal part. If you need to drill it, then the drill press is right here. If you need a bandsaw, like everything is here. And so if you're building something, let's say to print, or that has to be more precise, then we have the fixture tables, and underneath the fixture table is a bunch of fixtures, and then so you can build it, have it
nice
precise.
tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it always been this way since you moved in, or have you moved things around because you were frustrated sometimes?
Mostly this way because when you do the electrical, you have to have all the electrical. So some of these machines need 240 volts or
Yeah.
3-phase or whatever.
Yep.
So you want to kind of really know the area, how to wire the shop.
Do you have any regrets on placement since you've been here for 5 years?
No, it worked out pretty well because
Yeah.
I've been through a few shops, so I kind of know how to do it. Yeah. And then the whole shop is HVAC, so heater and air conditioning and whatever. Which
Yeah.
if you're in Florida, wherever you are, then
Gotta have it. The shop I'm moving into currently doesn't have AC, and we're gonna fix that. I've gotten spoiled. When I had my shop in California, I never had AC.
Yeah.
So I got used to just being disgusting all the time, and then in Florida, you gotta have it.
And the other issue is when you have the doors open and wind blowing through, it makes everything in the shop dusty.
Yep.
And especially here, we're kind of closer to the coast. We can have more of an issue with rust
Oh yeah.
because of the
yeah,
sea,
true.
the salt water. And because in LA, the reason why the weather's so nice is because we get a sea breeze. Well, the sea breeze brings in the moisture sometimes, so that'll make things rust more. So this is like our material rack. So, square tubing, round tubing, aluminum, scrap.
I do have a vibrant cabinet I'll be setting up soon. So that will have like all the fittings in there, some metal parts, flanges, like random stuff from them that at least keeps it contained. And then I in my shop have like a area for wiring, but it's all like tiny versions of it, like little toolboxes. But keeping it rolling is a big lesson in what I definitely want to do. Because like I said, you can move it around. And I wouldn't have thought of that. Because even in my new areas, that would be really convenient.
Yeah, we have a wiring box that goes to the racetrack and comes
Yeah.
into the shop if we need it, on wheels. Yeah, this is just again more metalworking tools. So bandsaw, horizontal saw. Those two tools are for shaping sheet metal, welding table, and then some fixtures and rotisserie for welding. And then we have a TIG welder, laser welder, MIG welder, all the welders. Another bandsaw for cutting. I think a chop saw bandsaw. This is a great tool. We don't have a cold saw. We actually use this one. This one's amazing. Really good saw.
I was gonna say, I like how small it is.
Yeah. And it's clean. It doesn't have fluid. It doesn't make a mess.
Huh.
Yep.
But it's all manual. Like, do you have to apply pressure the whole time? Or what can
It's manual. Yeah, you gotta do it yourself.
Okay, cool.
I like that from a size perspective. I gotta maximize space, you know? So,
Yeah.
That's
For bigger material, we would use that. Or bandsaw is important too.
could I just get rid of my other one and only use this? Like, what scenario would I need that? It's just nice as it kind of, you don't need to be
We
with
would do
it the
full
whole
rotate
time.
just with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
it's
how much
rare.
space we just got?
It's rare when this one comes out.
Okay.
And that one has fluid and everything. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But that one does not replace a bandsaw. You probably...
Yeah, yeah. I don't have
Or
that.
you don't necessarily need a bandsaw. You can probably... Depends on what you're doing. I think we need everything, but... And then, like, these are screens that we would put up for welding stuff. So if you're someone's welding, you can put it around them so the other people in the shop don't get sparked. Don't get flashed. Not sparked, flashed with the light.
Safety.
Yeah, that's really considerate of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
I mean, it is. You don't gotta
I'm
do
probably
that.
the most sensitive to it, so it's mostly just someone's welding for hours over here. It's just my eyes just want to look at it.
Yeah, no, you
And
have
so
the little
this
voice
helps.
in your head. Look at
To get another metal rack for sheet metal and whatever, and get on wheels.
It's like a Home Depot cart.
Yeah.
Can you buy those, or did you take it from Home Depot?
Oh, that's from
Did you take it or did you just go in and take it?
Uline or McMaster or something.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's just material
Victoria.
rack.
All right.
Victoria was.
Plotting to steal Home Depot.
And
Yeah.
then there's always another corner of the shop, like a press.
Yeah.
And then we have different material that we can make stuff out of on the lathe or whatever, and then tooling for the press. Yeah, we just need to make something, then we've got aluminum in stock, and we can turn it into whatever we want. Some steel, some whatever, titanium, Delrin, plastic type materials.
Yeah. That's what we've ended up using that a lot for, just like random bushings that you can't find or don't have time to order and get in.
Watch your head.
Whoa, what's that TV looking freaking thing? That's cool. What is
This
that?
one?
Yeah.
This is a
what?
machine from 1995. This is a CNC machine, so you can mill parts. It's a CNC mill. So aluminum, steel, whatever goes in the vices. These different tools will go in the spindle. Spindle spins and it can remove material, drill holes, whatever you need. It's to a program. So on the computer, there's software that we program everything, and we take that program, we put it onto this with the USB, and then it'll run through the program, and we can make one of something or 100 of something.
It's my favorite machine so far. It's so cool.
You love the screen.
I like the
So you-
screen.
Yeah, it's an old monochrome screen, and this is a bunch of tooling for, this side's empty, there's a bunch of tooling for that machine. And like, if you need to, all the stuff for the vices and everything all organized, so if you want to do something, boom, we can just do it. And the same thing with, like, this is a toolbox for all of the tools. Usually you double the cost of whatever you're buying with tooling. So if you find a lathe and it's $10,000, you might spend $10,000 on tooling for it. Actually, that would be a lot, but just a drawer full of taps.
Yep.
Thanks, Seth. You're freaking man, dude. So cool.
And then a drawer full of drill bits.
Yeah. This is so satisfying.
For different fixturing and different bits, and it's all, if you don't know what it is and how to use it, it doesn't do you much good. So you have to have an expert that knows how to use the tooling, because these kind of items don't come with instructions. But nowadays on YouTube you can get a lot of instruction.
So cool.
And then if you want to measure something, like this is a granite table that's really flat.
No way.
Yeah. So if you wanted to measure something, then you can, all right, what's the height of this? Put it on here, and then you can get your dial indicator, you can zero it on something, and you can start measuring it. And maybe if you got a couple of parts, you can, let's see how, consistent this is in different locations. And so different measuring tools.
Where do you buy this? Like a countertop company? But this is
Nope,
so tall.
Nope, this is specifically for machining. So you
Yeah.
go to like Facebook Marketplace and you look for a granite table.
And you had to make
And,
this frame.
It actually came with this. So a lot of machine shop, maybe they're going out of business or they got a newer one. We'll get one of these that's not certified. So if you're building stuff for airplanes and jets and whatever, they will have these that are really close to perfectly flat, and they'll be certified from a third party, and then they'll do the measurements and make sure it meets the print. And they're very sophisticated measurement divisions within these companies. And once in a while, they'll just get new stuff. For us, for our automotive stuff, for a race car, this is well within our tolerance.
Yeah.
So it works well for what we do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so
And then we have a couple of granite tables, like this one's a granite table, and then we have another little smaller one over here that I have the 3D printer, and this is a fiber laser for laser marking things.
What kind
So
of
if you
stuff?
want to make any of this stuff is all with the fiber laser.
Nice. Official.
Yeah.
So yeah, what type of stuff do you 3D print usually? Is like
Out of plastic, so prototyping. So it would, if we have a concept for a part, we would hand draw it or do a sketch with some general dimensions, get an idea of what we're trying to do, go to the computer, build it in CAD, and then once we think we have what we want, we'll then 3D print it out of plastic and we can test fit it.
what was the last thing that you did that for?
Front suspension on my Lexus. So this is just an adapter.
Oh nice.
So I have a sketchbook that I use, and I went to the computer and designed it, and then I made a first version. This is version 101, printed it. It was a little bit off, so I just, with a Sharpie, made some notes on how I wanted to change it. And then I went through a couple of revisions in the software, built version 103, marked that, and this tapped holes, and I actually was able to bolt it into the car. I think there may have been a couple more changes, and then I went and machined it. And then that's what's on the car now. Nowadays, this took probably like 4 hours to print. So within a couple of days, you can go from a concept all the way to machined aluminum or steel part,
Yeah.
all within the shop. Like we work on cars that nobody makes parts for. Like we have to be the place that makes it. So these are some of the tools that we can get these cars completed on time.
Have you done a lot of, well I'm assuming you've done some custom parts on the Supra platform for drift specifically, or like?
There's a bunch on that
Yeah.
car, especially the Corollas. When we build these, there's a lot of custom parts on them. When we find a limitation of something we can't do to the shop, whenever that happens, we consider if we want to add that capability to the shop. So every year, we'll try to add another capability. So years ago, it would be machining, or actually cutting and welding, and then eventually a lathe, like we talked about, and then maybe some CNC machining, and then make sure we have the computer CAD, computer design stuff, and like every year just try to step it up. Last year we got that fiber laser so we could mark parts. Just every year just try to do a better, more efficient job.
Yeah.
And because everybody that works here really likes trick, new technology, fun things, it just keeps it fresh and new.
And I feel like even with a lot of the smaller stuff I've eventually bought, it also grows out of frustration where you don't have to rely on someone else. Or if you're on a timeline and you want to control the outcome or the quality or like the development and go back and forth, having it all in-house is so like, you can't even measure that from like relying on other people on factors and variables. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, there's a race event and you got to be there, and you can't tell your crew, your driver, your sponsors, oh, we didn't make it because this other person dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Like maybe you shouldn't be relying on other people. Maybe you should do yourself. I don't know, but I think it's 2025, and when you're adults and professionals, you stop excuses and you just get the stuff done when you need to get it done.
Yep.
So you have to have good planning to get there.
That's another good quote. You're adults and professionals. Get it done. You're an adult.
So yeah, that's about it. I mean,
Is it secretive? Can we?
no, this is a sister car to Ryan's Rain-X yellow car.
Okay.
And this one was built as a demo car. So this one still has the old 4-cylinder engine in it. So it's back here for some maintenance. So it's a GR Corolla, rear-wheel drive converted drift car.
Is there any of your custom parts on here?
This has a ton of custom parts. So
Is it all the red?
fuel rail, the front engine mount, all the suspension upright, the shock top. And then we did all the fabrication with all the piping and the intercooler and exhaust and everything. So
like
if you just
everything.
look around, yeah, all the
Literally.
if it's not the factory part, we probably if it's not something you bought like AM fuel pressure regulator or something, obviously we didn't do that. But if it's a custom part that's welded or machined, we probably designed it and either built it or had somebody manufacture it for us.
And you guys did the rear conversion here?
Yeah. So this car, started life as a front-wheel drive car, but it's rear-wheel drive now. So if you look at all the sheet metal in the center, there is no tunnel because this car is a front-wheel drive car. So you have to make that whole tunnel where you have room for the transmission, the pedals, the steering column, all the cage stuff, and then the radiators in the back. So the radiator's actually laying down. Air comes up, it goes through this rear firewall, and then out the back.
So all of this is the same on Ryan's car?
I wouldn't say the same, but it's very similar.
Got it.
Yeah. But a lot of this stuff is, but we've rearranged. This one was original how we built them back in 2019, but Ryan's car gets updated and evolves every season
Okay.
as we find more ways to make it competitive.
How many demo versions do you have?
There's only 2 of these cars that exist. Yeah, the competition car and then this one demo car.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Have you ever thought of like adding like a butt extension?
Yeah, we had on the old TC, we had some little wing things here. Nowadays, the drivers have complained a little bit less, and they're just getting better at placing the car perfectly.
Corolla when Freddie drove it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We had a
Fire with the
IM or the Corolla. Oh, really? Oh.
I know he's like, no.
For a season, there was something.
When someone asked about it, just drive better. Do better. And you'll be fine.
You're an adult.
Yeah, you're an adult. No excuses and do better. So, love it. Well, that was the weirdest thing when I was driving like the Corvette, not having a lot in the back. There's less here for like placing the car in different zones. It took a while to get used to being in that position and readjusting to the car.
Yeah, that's not a good novice car.
Yeah.
Not that you're novice, but just generally more margin is
I was
better.
definitely novice when I got into that car, and I almost quit drifting because of the Corvette. Like, obviously it's a very dramatic statement, but I just thought I couldn't drive. But it was almost like now that I'm out of the Corvette, it was like drifting with ankle weights on for so many years, and like even with that chassis, I just got so little feedback. It felt so numb. I was so low, and like the rear, it's how much forward it has. Like there's so many things. I was like, I realized I'm not a Corvette driver, and that's fine. But yeah, the placement and stuff was
Well, that's why
challenging.
people gravitate towards certain chassis.
Yeah.
Do we want the cool setup or do we want the competitive setup? And they're not always the same thing. Yeah. This one's difficult. It's a difficult chassis to figure out. There's no spare parts for this. We have to make it. There's not a lot of rear overhang. It's a high center of gravity. It's a cool car. It's unique, but it has more challenges than if you built a more traditional drift car.
Is there any little things you've done, like placement-wise, even in Ryan's current car, for center of gravity and weight in certain areas?
Yeah, like the radiator being flat and
Yeah.
low in the back, trying to get more weight over the rear, and then having it lower. If you look at where this car doesn't have it, but the nitrous bottle on Ryan's car you can actually see the mount here. It goes
Oh,
behind
yeah.
the passenger seat on the ground.
Flat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
nice.
everything's the battery is up here and down low. This car doesn't have it, but Ryan's car has a carbon fiber roof on it. This one still has the stock steel. So yeah, there was definitely thought through to get as much weight off the top and mount everything as low as possible. And then this car is relatively front heavy, so we try to move as many components toward the rear as we could.
Yeah. Would you say, like, what is this drive like? So what the platforms that people are more used to in drift, from like the amateur to the pro level, what would you most similarly compare this to?
The front end is unique. It's just our own design. So it has a front steering rack like a Mark IV Supra, but it's McPherson like a S chassis. So it's a mix. It's like an S chassis but front steer. But now they've figured that out. So if you look at a bunch of the S chassis, they've moved to front steering racks.
Yep.
So we did that years ago in this. We just sort of known that the front racks were better. And then the rear is a trailing arm, so it's a lot like a BMW. So it's sort of like an S chassis in the front and a BMW in the back because it has a trailing arm.
Okay.
So it's a competitive car, but almost every part on it is custom, and you can't buy it off of the shelf. So it's it'd be a very difficult car for someone to build without a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And they actually drift pretty well because they're actually relatively large cars, and they have a 104-inch wheelbase, which is longer than most of the cars on the track. Our Supra has a 97-inch wheelbase, so this is much longer. It has longer wheelbase than a Corvette. It's
Oh,
probably
a
similar to like
Tracer
a Mustang or something like that.
Yeah.
Tracer's probably closer to 108 or 110 inches.
Yeah.
So not that long and not lazy. We think it's right in the 102 inch wheelbase is probably the Goldilocks zone.
Okay.
Same thing with like the Supra's 50-50 weight distribution, but we found that maybe 52%, 53% on the front is more of like a Goldilocks. Not too hot, not too cold. Just the right temperature, just the right weight distribution for a drift car.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, I feel like so far my favorite chassis has been the BMW, but I'm also coming from the Corvette, which maybe there's a lot more that could have been done setup wise, right? But it was just such a knife edge of like the forward was insane. And like if you're adjusting to someone or like you're chasing someone, there was a checkup on and you're correcting, like you just would want to straighten every time.
Well-
and it was so stressful. And I also got a little feedback from the chassis, which was improved with a different angle kit. So it was very numb in the front, and I didn't like it.
The reason why a Corvette would be difficult would because a lot of the weight is centered in the car. And there's a thing called polar moment. So if you have a bunch of let's say we have a rock on a string or whatever, and we're swinging it around, and the longer that string is, the farther out all of that weight is. And it gives you more of like this gyroscopic effect. Imagine now you had a car, and then you move the weight all the way in the nose and all the way on the rear. It actually makes it so it's more difficult to turn, and it wants to more difficult to start turning, but also more difficult to stop the turning with the same amount of weight, versus you have all the weight in the center on like a smaller string. You can kind of wind it up a little quicker, and you can also stop it quicker because you have less of that centrifugal force.
Yeah.
So when you're drifting and you come into a turn and it starts rotating, if you have a bunch of weight on the rear of the car, it's going to want to kind of keep going. Some of that is good, some of it's not. So if you have a Corvette where most of the weight's in the center, it's going to be kind of more difficult to get the thing to rotate, and it's also going to want to stop rotating quickly. It doesn't want to like continue on, and so that is unnerving for a driver sometimes because you have to like force it to get sideways, and then when you want to make an adjustment, it stops becoming sideways.
Yep.
That low polar moment is a more difficult car to drive than a long wheelbase with a bunch of weight in the back, but it's less nimble. So there's a balance there between Corvette might be more nimble and more ultimate speed than an old S chassis or something that has more weight, less centered, farther forward engine.
There's also
It's not a
way
good
little side. Like there was so little side compared to the forward that I felt like my box, and I'm sure there's a million different ways to have set it up. But like I felt like I was drifting in this tiny box, but that's all that I knew. So like you had to do everything so much earlier and be so much more predictive in driving versus now in the E46, I feel like my box is like this. And I have way more of like with a trailing arm, I can float, I can follow a stock 350Z and be on them in my pro car. I don't think I could have ever done that in the Corvette, at least not with my skill at the time. I also had commitment issues, and I was not that committed and didn't drive as good in the Corvette, so that also played into hurting me. But yeah,
That's a difficult car to learn in.
Yeah. But I've gotten a lot of inspo so far.
Yeah, no, you got pretty much the full tour.
I can't wait for the just the quotes.
Yeah.
That'll be the promo of it. This is do better. No excuses. You're an adult.
Words to live by.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the 1 year rule.
Yeah.
Gonna, yeah. Don't end Fight Club.
Fight Club. Yeah.
Remember Fight Club.
All right. Well, thanks for visiting.
Yes. Thank you, sir. It's very cool. And we'll take a lot of this back into our own inspiration for the shop coming up soon, which you guys will have more information on probably in like a month or so. But I'm really excited about it, and I appreciate the info.